All right, Faye. So this past the 24th, I think was that Sunday. What was that? I don't know. But the Kobe Memorial happened. We had his wife speaking for the first time publicly, not on any type of social media. I think Diana Taurasi was up there. I don't know the girl's name, but she's somebody that used to coach with Kobe. Then we had Jordan, Shaq, Gina Ariema spoke.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was it. I might have missed a person, but yeah, I mean, it just really kind of brought back all the emotions that you had that day when you found out that the plane crash. I mean, the helicopter crashed, and you just. I mean, it was rough, man. It was rough. I know you said that you were checking out the highlights. What did you feel when you were seeing that?
Man, it was tough seeing. You saw Vanessa's face. You saw how she felt about him. You see that how they kept the pictures up of how he was how do you call it, girl dad.
Girl dad.
Yeah, but they keep showing pictures of that. She said some stuff that a wife will feel at this time, but it's time to move forward. The biggest thing she said that I'm gonna remember is that they couldn't live without each other, and God took them in together. That was huge. So she's got the other three.
Yeah, three more.
And then we get into Shaq and Mike Jordan. I personally didn't know Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were even anything.
Oh, yeah.
To tell you the truth, it was one of those. Wow, he's up there. I was actually like Michael Jordan is so private that you don't hear about him like that, and for him to call him a little brother, that was pretty surprising. It was funny about him talking about the crying meme, of course.
Yeah.
Shaq, it was Shaq and Kobe. You don't put Shaq without Kobe. No matter where they went, it was Shaq and Kobe. Shaq and Kobe.
Shaq and Kobe always gonna be tied together.
So they could always. One of the biggest things Shaq said, but he didn't say it at the show. But he's like he's gonna miss joking around, saying he's got more than him. He's gonna miss joking around with Kobe more than anything. Because it's like he's gone to this Hall of Fame, and now he can't say those things. But Shaq said his usual. He didn't. Oh, there's no me and there's no I in team, and Kobe said there's a me and that MFR. So that was pretty good. So you had some humor in there. You had some sadness, of course. There's Kobe's. It was like her funeral for us, because they had their personal funeral, which who doesn't respect that?
Mm-hmm.
And they had that funeral for us. A bunch of players that even had a game that night went there.
Yeah.
They had monster games that night too.
The only player that didn't show up that you were probably surprised by was LeBron.
But they were saying he was in the back somewhere. So I heard that
he was in the back. Okay.
Yeah, I heard that he wanted to give respect because and I understand this. He didn't want to bring attention to him in a moment where it should be Kobe's.
I'm only going to say this. I'm not trying to derail from Kobe. Everybody else was there, so you wouldn't have been a distraction, LeBron. That's it. Michael Jordan was there.
Yeah.
And he spoke. Everybody was there, so to me, you had,
I don't know. Sometimes you see best friends not show up to funerals because they can't take the pain. You know what I mean?
That's what I think is he can't take it, and that's cool too. I'm not trying to come at LeBron any type of way. You can't grief your own way, but I just feel like everybody else was there. There wasn't anybody big enough to take away attention from that moment. To me,
yeah, you're right.
So,
everybody was there. So.
Everybody, but yeah, like you said, players that had gained. I know Westbrook was there. He didn't play that night. They were close. I think that it was an excellent way to say goodbye to Kobe and Gigi, and believe that they're able to show the good times that they had, and how close they were, know, and as fans and people that didn't personally know Kobe, and just loved what he brought to, you know, their lives in the sense of, you know, entertainment, or even if you were the type of person that, you know, said that I had the Kobe Mamba mentality, that, you know, if he inspired you in any type of way, it was an excellent way to send off, and say, you know, it's time for us to move to the next stage and just continue to celebrate his life. And I know a lot of people are, you know, doing a lot of things in the name of, I know, Kobe Bryant or Gigi or any of the other family members, and, you know, that died that night. So, you know, we just it was beautiful, honestly. And
It was good.
it's tough. It's still a little tough.
But with every tough situation, sometimes, you know, there's a little sunlight. I've been thinking these players are going off because they noticed, hey man, this guy loves basketball. I think the love of basketball is bigger than ever because of what happened.
Listen, did you see that Dear Basketball that he did?
Nah.
I wanted to cry. We can watch. Listen, we'll watch it after this. That, if you have not seen Dear Basketball by Kobe Bryant, find a way to. I don't even know how you can see it. That was the first time I had seen it at the memorial. They showed it. I mean, yeah, it kind of really summed up everything. If you ever picked up a basketball and had love for it, it really sums it up. But
So
that
anyway,
being said, you know, let's get into some current NBA talk. Sixers.
oh, what I was saying real quick is inspiring. Like, look at all these players. Like I said, had monster games, getting back-to-back 50s. You're seeing the passion maybe brought back into these NBA players. But you're right.
That's
Let's
what I'm
talk
saying.
Sixers.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. You got guys like Bill. They're stepping up. It's going to be a crazy finish. And I don't know who's going to win. I have no idea who's going to win. None. I don't.
I have a thought. But we'll get into the
We're gonna get
predictions
into all
after. So, Sixers, right?
Okay.
They play the Hawks. There was nobody to guard Embiid. Embiid does his thing at home. I texted you that day. What did I text you?
What did you text me?
I hate watching this team at home.
Yeah. You're like, you're not even going to get hyped for home games.
This isn't normal. This is normal. I'm like, I don't understand it anymore. Why away we're so crappy? Why are we such a bad team away? What's your main? It's just one line. What do you think is a problem with our away games?
Role players.
Role players, they just don't hit their shots away, right? There's more than that, man.
It is. It's not, because it's not. I mean, you only had 3 games with Burks and Robinson,
yeah.
right? It's only been 3.
I think so.
So you really, and I think 2 of them been home at least, 1 or 4. Because you got the Bucks loss, and then you just won 2 in a row, right? And
Yeah.
you had the Clippers game before the All-Star break. So 4 games. You've only had 1 game on the road. That was dismal, but you also lost Ben Simmons 10 minutes into the game. Because to me, the biggest difference between any team with home and away is role players. You expect what you expect from the stars, regardless of where they play. But the role players obviously play better at home. So if they play absolutely terrible on the road, you would think that would have something to do with it. Honestly, I don't know.
So
I'm sure that you have an idea.
listen, it's I don't even know anymore, man. I think it's a Brett problem. It's just, what is going on? What is going on? They need someone to cheer them on. I don't don't even understand it. But so I'm gonna get into this Simmons injury, and the only thing. So we both know Ben Simmons is a major player to the Sixers. You see it out there. They had a stat of he gives the most assists to 3-pointers more than any player that has a 3-pointer except Harden. So he creates 3-point shots. You're gonna miss that out there. But there's a bright spot, Tim. There's a bright spot.
That's the bright spot.
Burke and Robinson are gonna get to flourish a little more. They're gonna get more minutes. We're gonna see what they're about. Sometimes that's a good. Right before the playoffs, get them set up. We know what Ben Simmons is about. I don't know what Burke and Robinson are about yet.
Yeah,
I thought Burke was better and Robinson's getting the starts.
Burks is a better scorer. Robinson has a little bit better defense. But you want Burks' offensive firepower coming off the bench. That's what you really want. That's what you really got him for, to improve your bench. You didn't really get him to be a starter. Because when Ben's here, you don't need him to really handle the ball like that. So, I mean, I'm worried. I'm worried because what if he's out for the rest of the year? And I'm not talking just the end
If
of the
anybody
season.
had a back problem, you know exactly what this is. It's not that you can't walk. It's not that you can't do things. It's when you actually jump, you land the wrong way. That's it. You're done. Like that's exactly what it looked like. He went for a layup. There was not a lot of contact. He landed. That was it. And that you're right. He might be out for the season. They're saying 2 to 3 weeks though.
They're saying 2 weeks for a reevaluation.
Oh no, that's not good.
So you got this. So let's just say, at minimum, you're thinking you're predicting a month right here, because 2-week reevaluation. Then they're going to figure out exactly what they're going to have to do to get him to come back, because they don't, like reevaluation means they don't really know exactly what's wrong all the way, so they can't diagnose it and treat it right now because they need to see how it's going to be in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now, he'll get reevaluated. Hopefully, you could say, all right, there's a timetable for him to come back, and it's 2 to 3 weeks. At that point, you know what I'm saying?
Back is no joke.
And that's the thing about backs, you never know when that's gonna tweak it, and they don't like this. And the Sixers are already notorious for not giving information on injuries.
I almost say set him out to the playoffs, like now. Like
I would set him out to the playoffs. I'm just saying, if he can't come back for the playoffs, that's my main concern. That's what I'm trying to listen to for that. In that 2 week, we're gonna reevaluate him in 2 weeks.
listen, Joel Embiid wants to be the best player in the world. We gotta see it. That was beautiful against the Hawks. He took advantage of the smaller players. Sometimes we say he don't do that. He definitely did that. There was a good move that we did of when he was in the post, you saw the shooters move around. Even if it's left and right, you gotta stick that because Korkmaz is a shooter, Tobias is a shooter, even though Tobias has been missing a lot of open shots.
See, here's the problem. All right.
We look slower, right?
If we don't have Ben,
We're slow.
it messes up the processes of us moving forward, because what are we going to do next year? Go back into it with the exact same thing? No. I want something to happen. Like, I like Brett. I really do. I want him to be able to coach, but I want to know if he can coach or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know if he could, because if he can't, then we got to cut bait, and you're not gonna know that if Ben's not here, because what are they gonna say? Oh, you know what I don't want to happen is for him to stay around strictly because he didn't have Ben Simmons. You see what I'm saying? Like, I like Brett, I do, but I want a championship, and if he's not the coach that's gonna give us a championship, I need to know this year. I can't wait another year and say, all right, well maybe Brett can, no, because next year I'll be like, all right, listen, I'm ready for something to be different. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I need Ben to come back. I need him to come back, even if it is just the playoffs. You know, of course, everybody wants that, but I need it for next year. So we can say, listen, either it's gonna work with Brett as a coach, or it's not gonna work with Brett as a coach, or it's not gonna work with one of these players or whatever. But it had like that's all gonna be like that's the whole like what I've been saying. The whole thing is about the playoffs. But if somebody's not here for the playoffs, then I can't judge it the way that it's gonna need to be judged. And then I don't want nobody getting a free pass of sticking around because you were undermanned and it wouldn't have mattered anyway because you were expected to lose at that point. No. Give me a full strength roster. Go out here and show me you can coach. And if you can't, you got to go, Brett. Or if Ben comes out here in the playoffs and what is he, you know what I mean? Like, let's say he comes out here in the playoffs again and gives you in a crucial game, underperforms dramatically. I need to know. You know what I mean?
Listen, man. I think it's more on Brett Brown. This is now, if you gotta think about it, Joel Embiid's team.
Yes, but hear me out, and this is like I'm like this is for people that don't like Brett, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want Brett there next year?
No.
Now, what if he comes out here and they win some games? They win the first round playoff matchup.
It's gonna piss me off.
What? No, right?
'Cause I
And
know
then they lose in the second round on some.
And they blame it on Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons not being here.
He's gonna stay here.
He's gonna. Nah, I don't want him to stay here because of that. The only reason I want Brett Brown to be here next year is because he led us to the finals. You feel what I'm saying? Now you do that without Ben, then of course you want to stay, of course. But if you try, you know what I mean? It's like it's just no, man. It's like it's always something. It's always something with this process. And we had the live episode last week, and we asked, this is where we are right now in the process. 7 years in, has it been worth it? I say no. I don't know if there was another route that would have been worse. I'm just saying, all the losing on purpose. All we did was draft players that weren't ready to work a perfect fit, and
Listen, how
it was just ridiculous.
how vital was it seeing Ben Simmons not out there against the Bucks? Now the thing I always say is preparing with Ben Simmons and then he goes out on you the first play. It's like
It's hard.
it's a new gameplay and everything.
Yeah.
But you missed him out there. Because Embiid has to stick Giannis no matter what. And it's funny because Ben could stick the big guy, what's his name? Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
He could stick any of the Lopez. Like Giannis against Embiid is a crucial matchup that has to be stuck one-on-one in order for us to beat the Bucks. If we don't have that, we lose. We lose. Because Giannis is too long. Look, he even I'm not saying he stops Giannis, but he gets him tougher shot. He is a tough 30 points when he gets against us.
That's all you want from when you guard a great player.
But then when you have all the other players giving up shots and they're not fast enough for a Bledsoe, you know, it's...
So let me ask you this. Do you think we're good enough, the roster, without Ben, to get to the Eastern Conference Finals?
It depends on what happens. Let me see.
Like, based off of seeding, where we end up seeded?
Yes.
Like who we face. All right.
If we end up facing the Raptors, we'll win. If we end up facing the...
Do you beat the Raptors without Ben?
Yes. Yes. I almost feel like the Raptors are the Atlanta Hawks back in the day. When they went like 60-20.
Yeah, now, I don't know, man, because all gives JoJo problems. And you telling me he got to put up 50 a game for us to win? Not 50, but you know what I mean. 35, 40 a game for us to win. I don't know. And that means we won't have home court advantage.
We're not going to have home court advantage.
Like that 4th seed is pretty much done.
We'll see. So let's get into the seeding. Let's get into the seeding. So
what is it right now? Where are we?
Let's see. 6.
I think we should be 5th, right behind Miami by maybe a game or 2.
Yeah, we're 5th by 1 game.
Yeah.
So Bucks are 50-8. They're staying number 1. We both agree on that. Nobody's catching them.
Bucks number 1.
Raptors 42-16. This is where it gets interesting. Raptors 42-16.
Mm-hmm.
Celtics 40-17. Heat 36-21. Sixers 36-22. Let's so top 5 seedings right here. What's your thoughts?
We'll end up fourth.
We end up fourth.
I told you I don't believe in Miami. I don't believe in Jimmy. I just don't. I like Jimmy. I really do. I don't think that he could be the best player on your team and he's going to take you to the promised land. I just don't. I just don't.
Well, I think you know how I always say you need stronger players because so these rookies came out lights out or undrafted, but then game plan hits them. That's the difference between the pros and like other basketball leagues that you got game plan. You see video of these guys playing every day. So now you know to stick none out there. Now you know to stick. You know who to stick, what they do. So Jimmy Butler has to do more in order for them to win. That's what's happening to the Heat.
Well, right now we're 36-22, right?
No, hold on. So Raptors and Celtics, where do you think the Raptors are going to end up?
I think the Raptors stay where they are at, and I think the Celtics stay where they're at. I think we take the 4. I don't see the Celtics losing enough games, and I think the Raptors are good enough to keep that 2 seed.
Nope. I think the Celtics are number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Raptors are number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Pacers are number 4.
Pacers, what's their record?
34-24.
Nah, they nah.
Okay.
You got the Pacers 4.
I think the Sixers are 5th.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Heat 6th. And I think so. I think we're both gonna agree on the Nets and the Magic. They're too far below, but they're too far above, and they're gonna be 7 and 8.
Yeah. Nets and Magic, you said?
Yeah. Who's gonna take 7 or 8? Who knows? Unless Wizards get hot out there, but I just don't think they got enough firepower.
They don't.
Nets are 26-30. Magic are 25-32. Curry's out for the whole year.
So basically, the Pacers will jump the Heat and the Sixers?
Yeah.
Have you looked at their schedule?
Yeah, you can look at it.
I mean, we don't have to. I'm just saying, I was wondering because they haven't been playing too well. They've been winning games here and there, but they went on a vicious losing streak. Victor Oladipo is hurt. He's in and out the lineup. They don't have really any continuity. I don't see them jumping the Sixers or the Heat, honestly. I do see the Heat sliding down, so maybe the Pacers catch them if they can win some games because they're only 3 games behind.
Listen, we keep losing road games. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, can you pull up the Sixers schedule? 'Cause I got it here, but I just don't have which games are road games.
Okay.
So we can go through it and see, because if we're 36-22,
So tonight we play against the Cavs.
that's a win.
Here you go. Do you even fear this?
I worry.
And that's the crazy part. Cause me too.
Is it on the road?
Yeah.
At the Cavs, I still say we win.
You got that stupid. Is Drummond even playing?
Yeah.
So that Drummond little matchup with Joel. You got Kevin Love out there, and then you got guards. They're young, fast guards. Here we go. I mean, this is crazy because I actually think that if anything, it's gonna be a tight game. And what?
All right, but this is my point. If this is gonna be a tight game, would you think that without Ben? Would you think that with Ben? No, right? So I don't know how we're gonna get anywhere in the playoffs. We're talking about Cleveland, but I still think they find a way to get it done. I think Tobias steps up a little bit.
They need to learn how to play without Ben, as if Ben was out for the season.
They do.
Then you got the Knicks. We should win that.
At the Knicks.
No.
Okay.
But then you got the LA, all of the whole California trip.
Yeah.
At Clippers, at Lakers, at Kings,
Lost.
at Warriors.
Wait, Kings is a win. Warriors is a win.
Do you think King is not a definite win?
Kings are a win because
Kings are not a definite win.
I think the Kings are a win. They don't have a big that can stop JoJo. And they're like they have Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox. You know, maybe be throwing Bogdan. They got players, but they're not. I'm not worried about them. especially you'll probably take back-to-back losses to the Lakers and to the Clippers. So you'll be focused really on getting a win against a team that shouldn't beat you with or without Ben because you had JoJo. So I got, at this point right now, they're 4-2. Then it's Detroit. Is that at home?
Mm-hmm.
That's a win. They're tanking.
Pacers home.
That's a win.
Wizards home.
That should be a win.
Raptors home.
That's a loss.
Hornets.
Win.
That's at Charlotte.
At Charlotte. That's a win.
Home Hawks.
Win.
T-Wolves at T-Wolves at Minnesota.
Yeah, win. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is coming back this year.
Okay. At Bulls.
Win.
Really? We have a tough time with Ben against them.
We do, but they're injury prone. I don't think a lot of their guys are coming
Yeah,
back.
but then remember Cristiano Feliciano and the other guy had a career high that day.
Yeah, they had career highs.
I'm saying.
I'm just saying, like, they're going to have another career high. Like, it's a career high for a reason. I think we win that game.
Suns at home, so we're home.
I'm giving the benefit of the home game, but it scares me.
We're home against the Blazers.
No Lillard, we win. With Lillard, it's shaky.
We're home against the Rockets.
That's a loss.
So, here's where no. If Joel Embiid is gonna say he's the best player in the world, there's no way the biggest player, the tallest player in Houston is 6'7", and you can't win this game.
But here's the thing.
No way.
He can score, and like, all right, let's just say, all right, we'll let JoJo beat us. Harden three. All these threes that they shoot, we not hitting our threes. They not doubling, right?
At home, we're home.
I don't know. I think so.
If we have the best player in the world as a center, I know we don't, but I'm saying that's what he said. There's no way. Yeah, that's a 5-inch difference.
I understand.
Like it's not like so. I always say like 2, 3. It's not a big a difference. But when you go 5 more, look, a 6'10" Collins had trouble against Embiid.
It's not about Embiid getting off. It's about the players that Houston has. Like I get when he's playing against a team like, what did I say, Sacramento? They don't have James Harden and Russell Westbrook over there. You know what I'm saying?
And how about that, man? Everybody doubting them two playing together. Look,
all
I was
they
a
do is
doubter.
spread the floor now. So unless they're gonna play a zone, or JoJo's gonna be.
You see that dunk the other night?
The one to put back?
Oh no, though was it a putback? No, he laid it up to him. James Harden laid it up to Russell Westbrook.
No, I missed it.
It was
They're
ridiculous.
talking about JoJo. But yeah, I think so. All right, you got a win. I got a loss.
Where are we at? So so we're
Washington.
away at Wizards,
That's a win.
home against the Magic, home against the Bucks.
Loss.
I think that by that time Bucks will rest their players, so I think we'll win that.
Nope. Loss. I think that
At Spurs and at Pelicans.
it was lost against the Pelicans.
Others.
Memphis and Charlotte.
No, I don't got that here. I don't know why.
Win. I think they're in April.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses.
Nah, you're a fan. I don't agree with that. Like that. I think we're thinking too much as a fan. Like
That's 18-6.
yeah, no way. You know that's no way, man. Without Ben, you got them at 18-6. I know we got a super easy schedule.
So let's see. They got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Watch, we'll have those. Listen,
9 road games. That's where they struggle at home. You're not really worried about it, right?
I'm not really that worried about it.
That's what
you
I'm
know,
saying.
now we have without Ben and stuff. You know, it's just
I got them beating Sacramento, Golden State, Cleveland. These are on the road games. Charlotte, Minnesota, Chicago, Washington. The rest are home, unless I missed some. And I got them losing at home to Houston, Milwaukee, Toronto. There's one more. And New Orleans. Oh, is that a road game, New Orleans?
No. Oh, New Orleans? Yeah.
That's a road game, yeah. So I got them losing. But the road, I'm picking them to win at home because they've been winning at home. That's what I'm going with.
Uh-huh.
So they go. That's 18-6.
No, you got at Washington Wizards, you gotta win with us? Nah, man.
You know,
If we're on the road, it's sketchy, man.
I gotta win because.
Didn't Hawks beat us away? Yeah, Hawks beat us.
You gotta remember, we're gonna be playing for something and they won't. This is gonna be the last week or two of the season. That's what I'm factoring in.
Come on, man. We had pressure all season. You know why? I hate when you say things like that. No.
No.
We are
The other team has nothing to play
No, I
for.
know. We always had something to play for. No matter, look, we had championship expectations. Did we not? At the beginning of the season, did we not
Every
have
team
championship
did.
expectations?
Okay, hear me out.
The Sixers have championship
You
expectations.
said that the Milwaukee Bucks would be resting their players. Why? Because it's the end of the season.
Yeah.
Things change. Players stop playing so hard. It's not about, you know what I mean? So what I'm
So you
saying
think
is,
they're not gonna
Washington's
play hard?
Washington's out the playoffs, right?
Yeah, they're gonna play
The
hard.
only player that they really have is Bradley Beal, right?
And he wants to make a statement
What's the name?
that he I don't know, he's doing it.
I'm just saying, like, they're going to be losing.
I think the
on
losing
road-
teams are the ones that play hard at the end.
Listen, it's the NBA. You come out
And
here-
Wizards could make it in the 8th seed, so that's probably what they
If
got.
they're floating around in the playoffs and they have a shot to play, then yeah, maybe they'll.
But yeah, I think like Atlanta, they've been the worst team. They're like 10 something, man, and we lost
Yeah, we lost to them.
because they never had nothing to play for.
They did have something to play for.
What they had something to play for?
Their
They've
play
been losing the whole time.
right, but it's not the end of the season. You have to understand when it's the last 2 weeks of the season, like just like in the NFL, when you say, "What's the last few games of the season?" These guys impacted in. It's the same thing in NBA.
Why do you think Miami beat New England? Because they have nothing to play for at the end of the season, and New England had everything to play for. But since Miami just went to throw it out there, Fitzpatrick was throwing balls, they won.
Yeah, they had nothing to lose. They're out there.
But that's what I'm saying. Atlanta has nothing to lose. They had nothing to lose the whole season. So at the end of this,
right, but they're not. Listen, I get what you're saying.
no,
And Miami and New England is a divisional game, right? So you have incentive. What I'm saying is, on the road, Washington, they're out the playoffs. We're a better team than them. We have, like you said, the guy
We're a better
wasn't
team
even
than the
dominant.
Hawks.
So you're telling me that we should lose on the road to Washington,
No, we should
but
lose.
beat Houston at home
Yes.
but you're not. I'm saying we should beat Houston at home because they have Westbrook in them. You're telling me that we should lose to Washington because why?
Welcome to Sixerland.
No.
Am I wrong in that?
Doug,
Am I wrong in that?
you're basing it off of what you've seen, right? We had one road loss against the Bucks with this new roster. You can't, like, I don't understand how you can sit there and just be like, all right,
With
well,
our new roster, it's always something else, man. It's just always something else.
Isn't it?
Always.
It's just not a different roster. And we had James Ennis and Michael Scott, and those were our 6th and 7th and 8th guys. Then yeah, it'd be a different story. I'm anticipating, just like you said, this is a
We lost
blessing.
against the Magic. Oh,
You said this is a blessing in disguise. Because why? Because why?
Because we're gonna see the other players first.
So we got other players that you
But
believe.
I'm hope no. But see, to the hope that Ben Simmons comes in the playoffs and there will be good players.
talking
good
about
players
the
so they can
regular
know.
season right now.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. So that's the only thing that I fear. I'm not saying they're gonna win those games. I'm just hoping that those teams will flourish.
I think that they could beat Washington on the
We
road.
already lost against the Wizards away.
I think that they could beat Washington on the road.
Like our away games are terrible, man.
I think that we can beat a Washington team that has nothing to play for with 8 games left. I think that we'll lose to a New Orleans team who has something to play for. Like, you got Memphis, Charlotte, you know, So we should lose to Chicago too. Then
Chicago plays as well.
we should
Like,
lose,
see,
we should lose to Minnesota too.
Tim, I tell you,
They
I'm
got
almost,
D'Angelo Russell. We should lose to Minnesota.
who
Like,
knows?
come on, man. Come on.
We lost to the Hawks.
Yes, we
We
did.
lost to the Magic.
We also beat these teams
who
too.
do the Magic?
How many
got?
times did we beat
Who
them?
do the Magic? got?
What's our record
Who do
against
the
these-
Magic? got?
I don't know.
Exactly.
What's our record against those teams?
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying. You acting like it's every time
I'm just
we
saying
play.
we lose
I
away
know,
games.
we
Like
do.
our away games are we look like a different team away.
And
No
how
doubt
many
about it.
times have you seen Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson III on the road?
So you got me at Sixers at 5th, right? Good. All right.
Sixers at 5th.
Pacers at 4th. All right.
Pacers at 4th. That's the wild.
You'll see.
I can understand Miami at 4th.
You'll see.
Why?
You'll see.
No, I'm honestly curious. Why do you think that?
I think what's the dude TJ Warren playing really well. I think Sabonis is actually playing pretty damn good. Oladipo in and out the lineup, he'll be in the play. He's gonna play a little more once it gets to these nitty gritty games. And the rotation only gets better. Like you only start to click once you start playing with the players.
He's hurt, yo. It's
How
not-
hurt is he?
He didn't play yesterday.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he didn't play yesterday. And he didn't play before. He wasn't playing before the All-Star break. He's been out.
Oh shoot, Jeremy Lamb just suffered a season of the injury. Okay, alright, it's out.
I don't believe in them anyway because, like I said, they were reeling. Like they'll win games. They're well coached, so they'll still win and make the playoff. They'll probably end up in that 6th seed to me.
Yeah, whatever.
But
Whatever. In the West, who's coming out the West to the championship?
I have no idea.
Lakers. It's almost like, and it sucks saying it, it's almost like, you remember when the floods happened in Katrina and New Orleans won that? You know, Kobe Bryant's passing, it's lighting a fire on their LeBron and everybody in that Lakers squad.
I can see them losing to the Clippers.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't because I really like Denver. I really do. You know how I like Joker. So I always think that they could upset somebody maybe. I also
I hate Jamal Murray more than the Joker.
good. All the more reason to think that they could you know what I mean? Like
I think he's impressive, man. He
He
be
is.
impressing me because I don't think he's that good. And then when I see him out there, I'm like, she
A lot of
making
it.
shots.
a lot
That,
of Kentucky players are like that to me. Devin Booker is another one who you didn't think was going to be that good, but you know what I mean? But yeah, I like Jamal Murray a lot. When he's in the lineup, which he wasn't earlier in the season for a while, when he's in there, they're a different team. And then you know you got wild cards, man.
the
Like
Rockets.
well, you got the Rockets. I'm thinking about teams like where's Chris Paul at? OKC.
Nah.
Listen, man.
Not enough.
Look at their
Not
thing.
enough.
Look at their thing.
No, I know.
Where,
not
where,
enough.
Where they at?
In the playoffs is not enough, Tim. In the playoffs is not enough. You tell me they're either gonna. So look at the top 4 teams. You got LA Lakers, LA Clippers. Let's look real quick.
I think they're one of those 4 teams, yo. I think that's where people.
Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers, Rocket, Jazz.
Oh, they're not even. Where are they? 6?
Thunder 6th, yes. And Mavericks are right behind them.
So who would they be playing if it stopped today?
The Clippers.
Yeah, they're not going to
That's what I'm saying. Like
Who's second?
Nuggets.
Mm.
They're always well coached.
Listen, I like the Nuggets,
they're
man.
a good team.
Let me see this.
But yeah, I think the Lakers, no doubt. And are we beating the Lakers at all?
Man, look at this records in the West. Mavericks about to get in. Grizzlies. The West ain't what it used to be. That's crazy.
It's not.
That's-
But
man, I don't know who's coming out the West, yo. Like, cause you know, I don't really respect the Jazz, but then again, I don't see them enough to really say that they can't beat one of these other teams.
mhm.
You know, and that's my thing. Like that's one of those other wild cards, and it was them and the Thunder. I was like,
I
I don't know how to think.
I think that
I really don't.
Chris
I
Paul.
know, but really, like, come on. Are you talking like?
You always got that one team like I say, the Raptors are the Hawks of the East, they're the Hawks of the West, man.
I don't know about that, man.
Because Grizzlies, Trailblazers, or Pelicans make the 8th spot. Congratulations, you're out the first round.
Grizzlies, Mavericks definitely are out. Blazers aren't making.
Wait, Mavericks are out? No.
I'm sorry. Mavericks and Grizzlies are in.
I
think that's how it's going.
If the Mavs face the Nuggets on the first round,
no.
I will put a check.
Don't do it.
I will put a check right here, and say to Tim, how much you want to bet?
They upset the Nuggets?
They upset the Nuggets if they face them on the first round.
No way, Jose.
Okay.
Absolutely.
If they're both playing Porzingis,
Yeah,
Luka.
of course. We'll touch on that if it comes to that. But no.
Yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, like I said, but I'm just saying. So let's say the Thunder played the Rockets.
The Rockets are winning.
Because that could happen. Let's say the Thunder played the Nuggets.
The Nuggets are winning. So the Nuggets aren't the Hawks of the West. They're good. Like I said, they're a good team. They're just once they get to the second round, that's gonna get tough for them.
What? I don't understand why you listen.
You remember what I tell you about? And this is gonna suck to hear, but what championship team won with a big center?
Who?
What was the last championship team that won with a big center?
I mean, who are you talking about?
The Nuggets.
He's not a traditional posted up like.
It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, listen. Okay. So that means Dwight
That's
Howard
why we need. That's why we need.
JaVale McGee are going to be like they have big centers over there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, yo, you're talking. There's a.
Why?
Are Jokic and Dwight Howard on the same level?
As far as
Are Jokic and Dwight Howard on the same level as a player in the NBA right now?
No.
So that's the difference. That's what I'm saying. Now, Dwight Howard, he was in the Magic. Did he win a championship?
No. Well, no, but this is my point. You're talking about Dwight Howard.
You need that.
Who
definite,
are you talking like?
You need that definite guard.
No. Let's not go. Don't run away from this. Because what I'm telling you is, Joker doesn't need to post up to score. Mm-hmm. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about guys that you have to. They spread the floor. Joker's at the top of the key, running a point.
Okay.
He's not doing that, clogging up the middle. That's what they mean by those type of centers you don't win with plotting down. You got to throw it down, slow up the game.
You cannot win with a center that's slow in this game anymore.
So the Bucks can't win.
Why?
Lopez?
You put Jokic and Lopez. Well, how? Come on, man.
I'm confused.
Because that team is not. So Jokic is the best player in the Nuggets, correct?
Yes.
Is Brook Lopez the best player?
No, but he's their center. I'm confused as to what you're saying.
Because you don't. So I'm talking about when the focus is on the center, you don't win. There you go.
But you have to understand what they're saying with that saying. It's not.
I'm not saying that's me.
Okay, so.
What I'm saying, what they're saying.
Basically, last year, who won the championship?
The
Toronto Raptors. Who's their center?
What did he score in the finals?
It doesn't matter. He clogs the paint up. You're talking about Jokic like it's a different game. They're not talking about. You're saying it just because he's big.
So I said focus. So who was the focus last year in the championship?
Gasol was a big focus for them. Of course it was Kawhi. But Gasol was a big focus for them, was he not? Who was killing us besides Kawhi?
Siakam about 2-3 games. Do you
Who
remember
else?
Siakam?
Do you want to go? Listen, we'll go back to the Devils and Gasol, what he did. What he did.
I think Siakam had better games than Gasol.
Okay. Do they win that championship without Gasol?
Maybe.
But listen. I know what you're saying. What I'm telling you is, Jokic is not your traditional big setter.
I understand that, Tim, but he is I'm telling you, if the focus is on the center, like that's why we need Ben. That's why because listen, if the focus is on Jokic, they're not gonna win.
You just told me, right?
Jamal
that-
Murray.
You just told me that the Rockets will lose to the Sixers. It will beat lose to the Sixers because of JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in the 7-game series, if somehow they got to the finals, right? Let's say sometimes
There's a difference when there's a 7-game series, and we're
let's
talking
say-
difference.
Okay, that's why I'm asking you.
Uh-huh.
They get to the finals, who wins?
If the Rockets against the Sixers,
Sixers.
the Rockets. No doubt about it. With Ben or without Ben?
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay, with Ben.
I give them a shot. It will probably almost go to a game 7.
If they had Ben Simmons, you're telling me the Sixers win,
Yes.
and they had Joel Embiid,
Yes.
who's a focal point of the team.
Yes.
What? You just so it's different for us.
Because, so...
Like what? But I think like a fan. Come on, man.
No, man.
Come on.
Alright. Anyway, let's get going, man. Because you're not understanding it, man. Once you put Ben Simmons out there, it's an equal playing field right there, and it's not just the focus on Embiid. That's why I said that we need Ben
You
Simmons.
just told me that Jamal Murray impresses you more than Jokic.
Yes, but that's me. That's he.
Okay, so obviously he's a big part of your offense. The same way when you add Ben to JoJo, you add Ben to JoJo is different. You add Jamal Murray to Jokic is different.
yeah, the players are different. This is too much to discuss. Because Ben Simmons creates, gets boards, does things that even Embiid does, defends. Like, it's just, they're legitimately great players.
The reason why
Great players that play different positions. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, like, equally great.
Can you win with Joel Embiid scoring 0? Like, you need him to be the focal point at some point. You need to throw it down to him in the post.
Yeah, they need to
Because
both
he's
do
not
it.
going to be at the top.
They need to look. This team was built for Ben Simmons and Embiid.
Well, okay, so why is it that Joel Embiid is the only center in the league that you can win with that? Basically? Like
Because the team that's behind him. Because the team that's behind him.
Okay, man. You're disrespecting Denver. That's what you're doing.
No, you're just mad that I'm disrespecting Jokic.
It's not even just joking. You're saying that the rest of the team is bums, basically.
Let's get into this real quick.
Okay.
And then there's definitely switching up, but we only got a couple minutes anyway.
Alright.
NFL talk, real quick. What's that rule change you were talking about?
All right. So, you actually. So I know that the new CBA, they're voting on it soon. I want to say within the next day or two. And there's going to be. It looks like there's going to be a 17-game schedule. From what I heard, don't quote me. That's why we're looking it up. One less preseason game, one extra regular season game, and only one team in each conference gets a bye. And it's extra, I think it might be 7 teams into the playoffs as well. And only one team gets a bye. There's a few different things that I think they're trying to get in. But if it all goes the way that they're trying to get it, and I'll say not the players union, the other side, the owners and everybody, they want three preseason games, 17 games in the regular season. I believe, I don't know what the bye situation would be, but I believe, so basically you have 7 teams in the playoffs, only one team on each conference gets a bye. The other teams all, so 6 games, 3 winners, then the guy gets a bye or whatever. And that's what they're trying to do. And I think they're voting on it.
I don't see nothing.
Somewhere soon. All right, if you can't find this cool. It's soon because I know Schefter was talking about it this morning. I heard him saying, because I think that one of the holdups was they were trying to cap the amount for that 17th game to be $250,000 per player at the max. Something like that was a holdup. I know that they said that got taken away last night. So, and he said it's not like it's going to happen next year. It might be 2021, 2022. But that's where the NFL is leaning towards.
So players are going to get paid more, though.
it's something.
That's what has to happen. If
Like
you play another game, you
Yeah, I mean they'll get paid for the game, of course, but I don't know. It's something. I don't know all the details in and out.
I don't
but
think that's
kinda-
gonna happen. Players don't want to play more games nowadays, man. That's not gonna happen.
Shefty sounded today like it's gonna be voted on and it's gonna pass. So I don't know. I'm going off of what he said. I don't like the playoff format thing. If they did do it, that's my only hang up. If you want to do the 17 games, I feel like that's
They gotta add money, and they gotta do that. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think players want to play another game. I just don't think so. They just gotta cut back the preseason because nobody watches that anyway. And they're trying to find a way to raise that money. They're not gonna do it this way because their players don't want to do that. Maybe have I don't even know anymore. NFL's pretty good. Like, just who cares about the preseason games, really?
The owners. They're always trying to make more money, more revenue. They're always trying to, it's player safety, but let's add more games. I mean, so, they're always going to be trying to expand it. I know they were talking like, with the 17th game or something, you can have different games, flex games in different parts of the world, and they were talking all these different places. That's what they're trying to make it global.
Yeah.
That's they're always going to, that's just the nature of the beast. So, but that is one of those changes is coming, if not all of them. And then I'm sure they'll change other things along the way, but that's interesting to me.
Well, we'll leave it up like that. That's it for episode 75.
Yeah, we'll get into some Flyers soon. Next episode, some
Definitely.
Phillies talk soon. They're starting spring training, so we'll get into all of that next episode for sure.
All right, and as always,